news at Prime. Now, South Africa's unemployment rate continues to be a major concern, especially for women and youth. Young people have the potential to drive economic growth and create jobs, but these numbers are not helping. In recognizing those who are working hard to become part of the economy, Pat on Brands has developed an exciting initiative titled Top 16 Youth-Owned Brand Awards, aimed at recognizing the top 16 youth brands that play a key role. For more on this, we're joined by Pat Mahlangu, founder of Pat on Brands. Pat, very good evening. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, and good evening to your viewers.
What a fantastic initiative. The timing is perfect, especially as we look at the big concerns around jobs in this country. Tell us about this exciting initiative.
So the Top 16 Youth-Owned Brands Awards is an initiative of Pat on Brands, and it's proudly brought to you by Noto. I need to say this because they're helping us in terms of seeing this dream turning into a reality. Yeah. So it all started last year. So what we used to do as a platform as Pat on Brands, we used to just have a list of top 16 brands that are owned by the youth in celebrating June 16. You know, and one of the guys that we featured on our list last year reached out to me and said, actually, thank you so much for recognizing us. As a result, we were able to get into one of the big retailers' sort of supply chain. And for me, I thought, actually, there's something more to this, you know. And another thing is that I'm a marketer by profession, and ever since I entered actually I was still a student, there's been talks of lack of transformation in our industry, you know, that black people are not given enough opportunities and. So to change that narrative as well, I believe that we cannot talk about transformation without not recognizing youth-owned brands, because in any economy, there's no economy that functions without brands. So brands are at the core of driving the growth of any economy in the world. So I figured a great start is starting with the youth. And again, if you look at Africa as a continent, I mean, almost 70% of its population, it's young. Yeah. It's young people. So if we're not investing in young people, if we're not recognizing the efforts that young people are making in terms of bettering their own lives and also creating opportunities for other young people, you know, we actually sabotaging our future.
Absolutely. And you make an important point when you talk about accessing bigger platforms. I mean, there's a lot of red tape. If you want to get your product into a major retailer, there's a lot of steps that you might not be able to achieve on your own. Talk to us about some of the categories and some of the product ranges that you're looking at as you invite youth to become a part of this initiative. Yeah,
so we looked at the industries that young people are already playing in. You know, when we were putting together the categories as a team, we figured, look, I mean, there's no point of having mining, for example, as a category, because the barriers to entry are so high. It's almost impossible for any young person to get a mining license, for example, to start an operation of that size. So we looked at the industries that young people are already playing in, and they are doing so very well. And we're like, okay, cool. We came up with 15 categories. We looked at accessories. We looked at footwear. We know South Africa love their shoes, and we looked at those industries. We looked at technology. You know, young people are at the forefront of coming up with innovative technology solutions. We looked at travel and tourism. We looked at beverages. So we say whether it's alcoholic or non-alcoholic, you know, we're recognizing those, and this category is sponsored by Black Crown Gin and Tonic. Then also, again, I mentioned technology earlier on, which is sponsored by MTN Pass. MTN Pass said, look, we want to recognize young people in that space. Then we also looked at homeware. You know, there's young people that are creating amazing stuff for home decor and all those things. We're recognizing them. Then you know, there's a lot.
So what are judges looking for in a product range, in a branding message? I mean, because now, if you're selling a product, you're selling more than a product. You're selling a lifestyle, and you are trying to attract a certain market. As the contestants come through, what are you looking for? And also talk about some of the closing dates. Yeah, so we actually, in terms of the judging criteria that we use, I mean, that the judges used, we borrowed from, you know, great marketers. We looked at Young and Rubicon, sort of model for brand equity, then ACA as well. So they look at things like distribution. You know, when you're building a brand,
how many people does it reach? You know, that becomes very important. We looked at the overall brand appearance. You know, how do you feel when you look at Newzroom Afrika, for example, as a brand? You know, then we look at the consistency in terms of brand communication, the brand CI. How is it applied throughout various touch points? So those are some of the things that the judges looked at, and I must emphasize that we've already closed the nomination stage. The judges have shortlisted about 60 brands out of 485 nominations that were submitted. So this is a campaign that started in April, and now we're heading towards our award ceremony, which is on the 15th of June. So right now we're at the voting stage, so people can go onto our website, www.patternbrands.com, and click on the awards tab, and they can vote for their favorite youth-owned brand. So the call for nomination has closed, and right now we're gearing up to the main event, which is on the 15th of June, and inviting the public to be a part of it. It will be a hybrid event, so people can join online and physically at Sandton. So, yeah, we're calling for people to buy tickets and support this initiative.
Thank you so much. A really fantastic one. That, of course, speaking to Pat Mahlangu, founder of Pat on Brands, thanking him for coming in studio as they launch the inaugural Top 16 Youth-Owned Brands Award in South Africa.